Most productivity advice is super serious. Focus more, hustle harder, get more done. But almost nobody talks about this one important thing. If you stop having fun, you'll drain the energy you actually need to perform at your best. And another important part many people forget is the feel good that you get when you reach a goal doesn't last long, if you get it at all. Life doesn't start after your accomplishments. The journey is your life. So if you want to enjoy it, that happens in the present moment, not sometime in the future. That's why humor and fun aren't a bonus. They're essential for consistent high performance and enjoying the journey. When I started trying to figure out how to build my own business, I got caught in this trap. There were so many things that I felt I needed to learn and figure out, so I read, researched, watched videos, attended courses. I spent almost all of my free time outside of work learning. And at first, I liked it. I loved learning. But over time, everything became about achievement. I neglected relationships. I stopped doing things just for fun because I didn't have the time. Everything was just focus, focus, focus. And I didn't notice it at first. It just kind of became the new normal. But eventually, I started to feel exhausted. Life became kind of flat, and I felt empty. So I want you to know that if you've ever felt like work or even life has gotten a little empty, joyless, or flat, you're not alone. I've been there too. Here's what I realized though. Even when you love what you're doing, if it becomes too much of the same and too little playfulness and laughter, slowly and sneakily, it can start to drain you. What changed everything for me was realizing that laughter and enjoying life with people I care about is the spark that takes life to another level. When I started making time for fun, play, and laughter again, not just serious work, my mental energy came back. And honestly, I started loving working on my business again. And I felt more creative and alive again. In an educational paper from Stanford Graduate School of Business, David Hornick, a well-respected venture capitalist, he writes that using humor at work is a survival strategy. He says, without humor, you won't last in business. Business, in some ways, is a war of attrition. Startups are hard. Every problem you solve produces 2 more problems. If you can't laugh, you'll cry. You have to celebrate the successes and enjoy the journey. Humor makes it easier to take the punches while staying positive and engaged. A lot of people get caught in the trap of thinking having fun is unproductive. Fun is entertainment, the opposite of productivity and performance, or even unprofessional if you're working in a more traditional workplace. But the opposite is true. Humor and fun create energy. And when you have more energy, you work better, you think better, and you create better. Productivity culture teaches us to drain ourselves for output. Humor does the opposite. It fills up the tank. But even more than that, it reconnects you to energy, courage, and joy that make life and work worth it. And just to be clear, you're not lazy or unproductive for prioritizing fun. You're being smart, because when you refuel your energy and creativity, you'll get more done when you get back to the work, and you'll actually enjoy the process more. And maybe even have picked up some new perspectives or ideas in your time away from work. Have you ever had ideas or solutions that come to you out of the blue when you were doing something completely irrelevant to what you were working on? Like when you were in the shower or going for a walk or hanging out with someone. This is called the shower effect, and it's actually a science-backed phenomenon that shows that taking purposeful breaks can rejuvenate your mind, leading to enhanced creativity and problem-solving abilities. And if science says you should do it, you should of course do it. Well, not always, but in this case, you should definitely do it. There's a quote attributed to philosopher Eric Hoffer that says, "The creative mind is the playful mind. Philosophy is the play and dance of ideas." Playfulness isn't a distraction. It's how creativity happens. And better creativity means better problem solving, which makes you more productive. And here's what's even more powerful. When you bring fun back into the process, you stop fearing mistakes. You stop overthinking. You stop holding back. You speak up. You take action. You try new things. Maybe even go for that business idea that you've been thinking about. And when things don't work out, you laugh, you learn, and you try again. That's real productivity. It's not just about getting more things done. It's about having the energy and the courage to do your best, most creative work and not give up when the journey towards your goals gets hard. It's like the difference between white-knuckling the wheel and rolling down the window, turning on the music, and actually enjoying the drive, even if you hit traffic. Humor doesn't take the bumps away. It just makes the ride lighter. And that makes you more likely to keep going. So this isn't just mindset, it's strategy. And there's another piece of this too. When you can laugh at yourself, you become braver. You stop being so afraid of voicing your opinions, of making mistakes, of saying something that might not land perfectly. Because mistakes or saying something stupid doesn't feel like the end of the world anymore. They just become funny. Something you can laugh at and move on. And let's be honest, we all have inner conflicts. We all self-sabotage at times. We all make life harder than it needs to be sometimes. And you can either get stuck and upset about it, or you can laugh. And when you laugh, you move forward faster. So here's my theory. The more seriously you take yourself, the more fear and exhaustion you'll feel. The less seriously you take yourself, the freer, braver, and more energized you'll become. Humor doesn't just make life lighter, it makes work better. So here's my challenge for you this week. Think about what actually makes you laugh or feel like you're having fun, and find a small way to bring that into your work or creative life. Because fun isn't a distraction, it's how you refuel for the work that matters. If you've had a moment recently, big or small, where you're able to find the funny in a work or life moment, please share in the comments. And if you haven't yet, tell me where you're going to look for the funny this week. Let's share some good energy. But here's the thing. Humor isn't just a productivity hack. It's a tool for emotional mastery if you use it right. So if you want to be able to handle life's BS with more humor and less stress, watch this video next.